And welcome to SGDC. Woo! This is a televised extended edition of Mental Health Circle. I'm your happy-go-lucky host, James, and I'm urging you to show your stuff. Share your burdens. First up to share their burden is Matej. Woo!
Hello, hello. Haven't done this in a bit. Good old D Drive, Homies Games, Pixel Art Academy. Alright, so yes, my name is Matej. Hello. I am working on a game called Pixel Art Academy. And I have done a really nice milestone this month. In that I have finished all the tutorials that are gonna go into the early access version of the game. Probably start my timer. So today we're gonna look at curves. Let's go here. Let's reset this. So there's a bunch of tutorials that are new. Look. This one, so if those of you who are new to pixel art, curves, well, everything is made out of blocks and curves are circular and presents a big problem, but there are some rules you can follow if you wanted to make things still kind of look nice. So when we do curves, it's really nice if things keep increasing in how long these little segments are. And basically, yeah, if they are not, there are ways to fix it. I'll just, yeah, basically, I've made a bunch of tutorials that use this stuff that shows you what's happening, like these numbers are just automatically showing up and stuff like that. We can just fix this. This is the first one, and the next one requires you, this one, that was the theory, now it asks you, okay, now show it in practice how you can do this. So, well, you're supposed to just kind of connect it like this, yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this so that I don't have to clean up the doubles as well. I'm cheating a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. And then I have this new part down here. As soon as you're done, you can open this pixel art evaluation paper, which has now this smooth curves criterion, and there's a bunch of shit that you can analyze with this. I did a lot of work on, shows you where you have abrupt line changes, like for example here goes to 2 to 5, then it shows you if you have some parts that are too straight, like this ones, especially because of the way I drew it was a bunch of straight lines, and then it also detects inflection points, which helps you find out if there is any sort of changes of curves where they shouldn't be. And then it asks you to clean it up until it looks a little bit better. Let's go like this, like this. Anyway, I could keep doing this and then eventually it'll get better. So now we're at a B, and then yeah, you see inflection points are fixed. We still have a little bit straight parts here, so we could go 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. So it's kind of nice because yeah, usually you would have, you know, if you're taking a course online, you have a teacher or somebody to give you corrections and stuff like that. So it's yeah, I needed to find a way how I'm gonna do that, sort of the same thing, but yeah, just by having a computer. So let's see, there's only one more major here, so we go 3. There we go. So yeah, I had to write algorithms that kind of do the job a teacher would do otherwise and give you corrections until you do it the way it's following the rules. This is a very long one. I'm just gonna let's just do it. It's basically a bunch of circles because circles are hard. What else do we have? Oh yeah, and then here are very long diagonals. Whenever you have a very long long curve, basically you can do this whole thing of just decreasing stuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. So yeah, and here it has these little visualizations with my engine that also show how things are going. So yeah, a bunch of this kind of stuff are new to the game. There's one more tutorial. I'm just gonna briefly show it because I'm running out of time. So here we go, pixel art line width. So this one shows you how you can have different different line widths. It also has a couple of this kind of diagrams what's going on, because you can only have one width line if you're going horizontal or vertical, but then on the diagonals it's basically a compromise between, well, you know, being very thin and then you have more stuff like thicker lines and stuff like that. And then the final part, this is where I'm gonna stop, is that you have different demonstrations of different line art styles by drawing actual sprites. So I got 4 different sprites from different games that also explain stuff, and then you slowly color them. So it's a combination of this more theoretical stuff and then a little bit practical. This one is about thick lines. This one was Die in the Dungeon, who were living here in the house for a little bit. Little frogs. And the final one is Arklands, which Adam Bow is making music for. There we go. Thank you very much. Any questions? All right, thank you.
All right. Always nice to give people 2 seconds for questions. Yeah. Next up, Glenny Boy.
Hello. So I'm Glenn. I'm working on a water park tycoon game, which is called Aqua Mundo. The past 3 weeks I've been working on tube slides. So it's still very work in progress, the whole UI, but basically you can, you know, create different curves and then create a slide like this, for example. And then there's water. Let's open it. Also, I just want to quickly make another pool. That nothing really has changed here since last time, but I now also have NPCs, and they look, I mean, I think I showed NPCs before, but now they have colors, and they're like different, so that's pretty nice. Also, we can now color attractions, so let's just choose some different colors. Yeah, this. Maybe this one. So I'm really happy that finally I don't have to look at the same colors all the time. Then some dots. Oops. So, and now if I just connect this here as well, like this, and now I can spawn some people and also fill up this. So they're all like, they have different weights, different heights, different hair color. I just love differences. Sometimes they clip through each other, but yeah, I'm really happy with this. The animation is still very work in progress. Also, oh yeah, this guy. I just like how they climb in the water. So yeah, I think now suddenly in just a few weeks, I've added, you know, a lot more life to the game. So that's the things I've added lately, and tonight I would like to publish the Steam page, so people can wishlist if they're interested. But for that, I need James.
Oh shit, I forgot. I need my phone. Oh, we're time out. Sorry, we can't do it.
30 seconds.
Quick. Oh, partner. There.
Yeah, the game is still very much in progress, a work in progress, but just for the people who already want to show their interests and keep them or stay updated via Steam. So, yeah. And it makes
Meanwhile,
the game. Oh yeah, right. Yes.
Don't show what I'm doing.
It also makes the game, I think, more real in my eyes, at least.
looks like it was the right code.
You can do it. We believe in you.
Who's gonna be the first wish lister?
It's still Glen's presentation is over, now it's James' presentation.
Yes.
Delete munchy. We don't have enough space.
There is no Aqua Mundo.
There is no Aqua Mundo.
The issue is I don't see all the things. We have too many games.
It's an interesting problem to have.
Why is it not showing?
All
Yeah,
applications.
yeah, I do view
Oh,
application.
this is all NDAs.
Control F.
No,
There we go.
I don't see all of them. Do I have to give myself permission to the game first?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's interesting because I can do stuff and it says that you need to give me access to it. So
Okay. I'm just gonna give myself access to the game first. What am I?
That's too big of a question for right now.
Should have access to every. Okay, fuck it. This one and. Well, admin. Everybody, calm the fuck down. I don't know how to give myself access.
Stay tuned next week.
Okay, here. That's the problem. I have access to everything, but I don't have access to everything. This, okay. Do I have access to it now? Do you know the ID of the game?
Huh?
Do you know if you know the ID of the game, I can
Oh, the
find.
ID.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you get that? Because I can access it if I can just have the ID, I think.
well, I'll have to.
Meanwhile, I'll continue trying. Maybe yes. Just
Meanwhile, hopefully everyone's like,
Where's Hacker Man when you need him with the fridge?
yeah. Can I do it here?
Should play some maybe synth in the background.
Here.
What group am I in? Oh yeah. Oh, if I add myself. Oh wait, I need to add myself to the Aqua Mundo group maybe. How do I do that? It's very chaotic managing an account where you let all the developers have access to the games without having access to everyone else's games, which makes it problematic for me when I want to have access to it as well. Yeah. Give me everything. Okay, now.
It's on the top. There's
Oh,
two
shit.
now.
Where?
Wait, there was one before. And now there. Okay, never mind.
What was the app ID?
Yeah, so
277
379.
37. Will it blend? Whoa! Okay, yeah. We're not allowed to stream this, so.
Yeah, no.
Ah, okay, so you're not streaming.
Well, we are streaming, but we're having Patreon thing on right now.
Will it ask me to write something?
Maybe.
Wait.
Or we just.
I thought it would ask me to write something.
Woo! Alright, so we can. Sorry? Yeah, first I need to log out here. And then we can show this.
I don't have 10 minutes, I need it now.
Boom! We're back!
This is the page. Also, I'll quickly show if someone wants to access it via
There it
a
is.
QR code.
I was first.
I made a little image. So, for people on stream or in the room that want to quickly access the scene.
Someone has a question.
Yeah. Are there any
Yeah.
questions? Brian?
There's a question in the chat, pretty sure from a homie in the room. But can we have see-through slides in Aqua Mundo? I feel like I'd like to enjoy seeing people having fun.
Yes.
Doing them.
See-through and also like with an open top side. So only half filled. Those will be in the future. Yes. Other questions? You can shout because I'm blind. Yes.
Do you intend to make a trailer for the Steam page? Or
Yeah,
some kind of
eventually.
video trailer?
Yeah. It's just a bit too early still in the
Gotcha.
development. Yeah. Nobody else? Okay. Thanks.
Wish list.
So, someone opened this on the wrong.
100 wish list already.
Next up, Hjalte. Alright. Let's see. So I'm just gonna show what I've been doing for the past month or so. I've been doing a little update for Munchy Mammals. I kind of call it the little things update because I've just sort of been adding like a shitload of random stuff that I needed. It's like the complete patch notes. So main stuff for phone is like just you have like vibration when you can play with vibration now. It feels pretty good on Android. Like boring stuff like after a while it'll sort of like ask you to review the game. And like there's also a lot of tweaking with that, like sort of when to ask for review, like make sure it's after you get a gold so you actually feel good about the game. Yeah, also some stuff with the ads, kind of whatever. I noticed Glen playing got really fucking annoyed with the ads later on because there's like at least 3 minutes between each ad, but later on you might spend 3 minutes just trying once. So it feels like you get an ad every time. So instead of making that window longer, I just did more of these ads so you hopefully cave in and buy the game. Other stuff. Yeah, then the main thing was like the difficulty of the game. Because I was here in Copenhagen Games Week, I saw a lot of people playing the game and it seemed like there were certain points where people kept like kind of getting stuck, or it was the same mechanic over and over that people weren't really getting. So it was a bit jarring at times. So I spent a lot of time sort of adding new levels to make it a bit more smooth. And now I have a nice amount of levels, I think. Yeah, like all the buttons that aren't there, those are the levels that I've added or modified. So that also makes it a little bit awkward because if you now open your game and you've already played it, your level screen is gonna look like that. But it's fine. The new levels are easy if you already got gold and everything else. So yeah, and then I also took Max's idea of like taking some of the hardest levels that really people would just like, it was like a brick wall, and instead of deleting them, I just put them into the last area of the game because yeah. And now I'm gonna show the rest of the stuff, the demo. And that's here.
So one of the main things, if people who played the game might, oh, I got it. Might see that the main menu has changed, because before it was very it had like this weird blurry thing going on. It didn't really fit with the rest of the aesthetic, so that has changed quite a bit. And I did some fun stuff with that. So like, let's say we've been we're playing the game, and oh yeah, it does like a hint now as well. So like, oh okay, that's how you play. And then you play for a while, and you're really fucking good at the game. And you unlock the the new area. Then the game will if you then quit out and you go back in the game, now you have like a desert on the main screen. And I don't know, it's just a nice little way to be like, oh, remember this is how far you got. And also the options change. So not only do they have a new theme, they also have a different level. So you can try different things. I think that's pretty fun. Then I probably forgot something. Oh yeah, and a thing that was like very difficult for people was this idea that you're not supposed to like leave leftovers behind. So for example, this level, we need this guy to be 5 long and go in here. So why don't I just eat this guy's face and then go in there? Because, well, then you haven't really completed the level, and before it would just kind of be like a blank screen, but now it sort of shows you what you did wrong. It's like, you can't leave leftovers, bro. And hopefully that sort of makes sense. So yeah, just a bunch of small changes like that to kind of help with the understanding of the game. Yeah, and some social links stuff. And yeah, it's out now. So you can play that now everywhere. Go get it. Any questions? Yes.
So are you saying it would help the game a lot if, for example, Aaron would create some trailers for other games that we have, which we can put in the game in case we can't show any other ads?
Yes. Actually, yeah, we should do that with AdMob, like we did with Circlo. That would be great.
Very interesting. Cool.
Yes.
Is there cross-platform saves if I have it on Android and Steam, or is it not shared?
No.
Oh.
Gonna have to do it again. Sorry.
Fair.
Yes.
2 questions. 1, why an eggplant as one of the consumables?
Because sexual undertones. No, I don't.
Second question, have you considered tying ads to game states? So like if you fail a level, you get an ad or something like that?
Oh yeah. Like, so ads also have a bunch of other parameters. It's like, if you get a gold, you'll never see an ad. So sometimes I kind of forget when I'm testing because I'm just like speed running it, and it's like, why am I not getting an ad? Oh, because it's only if you reload or if you fail the level.
Too good for the game.
Yeah, just humble brag. Glenn?
Do the settings get saved between?
Yes, I fixed it because you made me self-conscious. Matt.
Was it tempting to use the old Twitter logo instead of the X logo?
Yeah, literally the only reason I used the X logo is because there was an SVG and it was just like plug and play. But I otherwise refuse to call it X because it's silly. No more questions? Cool, thank you. Buy my game. Give me money.
Cool. Next up, straight out of, I was going to say Mumbai, but that's not real. Harry.
Harry.
What do you mean, you're not going?
My presentation's not ready.
Get out here.
But you haven't removed yourself from the list.
I removed it from the
Now you have to
Discord.
do it. No, I'm just kidding. I will let you skip it if Hanna can do one.
Same news.
Oh, shit.
Okay, next up, Bram.
In person.
At least Bram doesn't disappoint.
Good.
Wow.
Hello, I'm Bram and I've been trying to find a way around the computer for the last couple of months with the help of the IndieQuest and Matej and Remy. And I want to show the arcade game, single screen mission. And it should be on here, I think. It's called Color Adventure. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I'll just show you how it goes. It's pretty straightforward. Point and click and paint, point and paint, click and paint. You will see. Is it looking normal there? No. Oh yeah, so you can press start. Pick a color, start drawing. You can draw a lot of different colors. I have 3 different pen sizes. And then once you're happy with how the bunny looks, like a couple of dots, like that, and you can click it. And you get the nice sound. And then after you click the button, you can't draw the bunny anymore. It's locked in, but you can still change the bats to your heart's content, I guess. And then if you're happy with this, then you go like this. And then the bats disappear and the rabbit can go home. And you can do this all day if you want to. I certainly can. Thank you.
Are you gonna do any play dancing with your family? Kids?
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. Yeah.
Not yet, right?
No, they just came home today, so yeah.
Is it? Are you done now, or are you gonna paint bucket as well?
Paint bucket would be nice, and I heard something about the zoom, which would help the accuracy, and maybe some different scenes. But I'm also very, I'm known not to finish projects, so yeah, maybe.
Alright, thank you. Alright, let's leave this music on for the rest. Hopefully, Mariana wants to be presenting any music. Mariana? I'm sorry, you're allowed to present music.
How loud is this actually?
It might be loud.
So, am I allowed to close it? Oh yeah.
Let's run Unity.
This modifies it to every frame.
Okay. I should have a folder here.
Top
Yes. So I've been sometimes presenting Korter 1996. It keeps going up in years sometimes. And mostly like figuring out the visual style for it, and now we've taken some time to figure out more about the actual gameplay as well and make it more gamey. So we have like a little build that I want to show. It's very work in progress still, but there's some new stuff that you haven't seen, like this starting cinematics. You know. So you start by opening your notebook and you have a to-do list. It's 20th of March. And then you have a box, and this is the same apartment you've maybe seen before in wait, I don't know where this can so it's like a apartment you move into. It's like a post-Soviet style apartment block, and start unpacking some things, and the things have some memories attached, so if you actually interact with the objects you get some of the associated story. So this is like totally believable deck of cards that has and this the snow globe. It's animated, I swear, yeah. Oh yeah, and we have, you can see actually where you can place things. It's a nice new feature. So book. And then you can check, although it's not a very high skill task. And yeah, then you're done. And something weird happened. Oh no, something has changed. I don't know if you noticed, but someone is gone. So yeah, maybe I'm getting tired, so just go and sleep. Get some weird noises. Like from the neighbors. And then you're back in the day 2. I don't know if this changed. No, that will change. And let me see what this is. So this is important information which will at some point become more clear. You can place the vase here and then you get the flowers. Neighbors are being still loud. Then we have other stuff you can unpack and like, oh no. Magic. Whoa, what's going on? Very important to have many of those. Yeah. Some things here. Just lose the small things. You could put stuff in the pinboard. That's gonna be important later. More doors open than before. Before we just had these doors, but now we have more doors. But yeah, we're this is like the state it is right now, and we're hoping to get to somewhere where we can play test it with you guys soon, so we can actually go through some of the first days and like see what happens. So head up for that, I guess. But this is it for now. Just yeah. Bye bye. Okay, any questions? Yeah, Brian?
Did you draw any inspiration from the game Unpacking, or was this always kind of a thing that you planned, like the unpacking element of it and putting things where you want? And
yeah, I think there was like a subconscious inspiration from the start, but as the first scene started to be more unpacking, then there started to be more inspiration from unpacking as well. Because yeah, at first it was more like about going to other people's apartments, but since the story started to be also that you move into the apartment, or like why are you there in the first place, then it has become more of like a the pleasure of unpacking is also like gonna be there.
Do
Tintin.
it's super impressive, and I'm wondering for the chairs, did you like use a reference or did you trace on top of something?
For chairs, well, I think most of the stuff is like still like placeholder kind of, but for some of the chairs I've already like basically like used references from actual furniture from that timeline, because I want like we want to have the apartments feel pretty much like in place in like a post-Soviet apartment in the 90s. So it's gonna have a lot of reference-based stuff. So some of the chairs, are already like just drawn based on references. Chris.
So the game takes place during a limited amount of, like a set amount of days, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Like, not really sure what's the timeline, like just that it's in March in 1996 somewhere, and the days just help us, I guess, make it more logical for the player to be there and understand what's going on. So it now has days as well.
All right,
Thank
you. If we add the names together of the next two presenters, we get a Swedish producer who made all the Backstreet Boys songs. So, who is the next presenter, you may ask? Well, it's Max and then Martin. Woo! Backstreet's back. All right.
That was a very exciting introduction. So it's the end of a month. I wanted to see what I could put together just to catch up. My month was a bit abridged, but here's what I've worked on. Satan Stole My Girlfriend. We did a little bit of a mini jam when I arrived for half a week, essentially. So I drew just a bunch of skulls. That was pretty much all I did that week. Pick your favourite skulls. I stole the Calcium Chaos one, the Death and Taxes one. I didn't steal the Core one. Danny gave me permission for that. I just drew skulls. And then I drew some rocks. I haven't sent those over yet, but we've got some good stuff in the works in Satan Stole My Girlfriend. Then Claymores of the Lost Kingdom. Last time I showed you this guy, and now I need to draw him again and again. So I need to do this pose, which turned out to be a lot trickier when it's not just a gesture drawing. So I tried to get Lex Luthor to pose for me, but he didn't have any bones, and I didn't know how to make him do what I wanted. So then I tried to get this wooden man to do the job, and he was terrible at that as well. I've got some very flat Yormist. It's bad at this point. But currently this is where that's at. I haven't finished it yet. Hopefully I can do so by the weekend. Valkyrie Saga is Bosco's game, and I drew some guys for him, and eventually they'll look nicer than this. And also he left his Switch in the house, so hopefully he gets it back. Bottle Sky is the main project I'm working on. I've spent months trying to do a background for the hub area. I'm just, not great at drawing backgrounds because I'm very forward-looking. But here is how it looks right now. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I kind of had to dip into the UI as well for how this area will look, and I think the colours are, harmonised. Everyone in this room was playing Frog-like, which again, used without permission. Now I just need to do that again and again and again, which will be very fun. So that's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of my stay here at Spell on Bottle Sky. Then there's Fate Lock, which is the monster game I've been working on. I drew some clocks. It's Tick, Tock, and Dong. They now have their sprites. They predate the clock game I showed earlier, like these designs, so I'm not infringing on my own copyright, but I don't own the IP too, so... Then there's Humon. I posted him on the Showcase channel. Yeah, I figure at like level 40 or whatever, he'll just get a gun move, and then he'll just shoot a gun at you. But otherwise, he just spits at you. And yeah, and then I've added them to the mural of all the ones I've done the sprites for. But yeah, I got sick for the past week, so I couldn't really do much else except make monsters, because apparently I can just do that on autopilot in a delirious fugue state. So here's the next 10 or so monsters. This one wasn't done when I was sick. I did this during the game jam. This is a spider who is very Australian. Yeah, it's based on a hat we have, because, you know, the hat gets rid of flies and so does the spider. Then he evolves into Ned Kelly, which is a bush ranger.
Yes.
In Australia. He wore a big metal suit to fight the cops. And yeah, he is now a big spider. Then we've got this electric rat. He's a little guy called What You Got. And then he evolves into Whatnot, who is based on when you get wires tangled up amongst each other, which is mirroring a real-world phenomenon called a rat king, which is where rats get their tails stuck together, and is horrifying. Don't look it up, but that's the idea there. Then we've got Coinage and Avarice, who are some fish. Yeah, they have money, which I don't. Then we've got a Garlic, who is a Van Helsing type. Then we got a Molehill, who turns into a mountain. And then I drew a witch. And then this guy's name is the Abstract Concept of Hope. Yeah, that's it. Yes, James.
What happened with munchy mammals in the spaceship?
Oh, yeah, munchy mammals got cut out of the spaceship. It just, like, cropped out. So, if you see here in the bottom right, there's a munchy mammal behind his hand. So behind his head is where the squid monster is. But then the final thing, we changed perspective, so the squid got pushed into frame, and munchy mammals got cropped out of frame. So you can just see the tiny bit of red from its cheek. So, sorry about that. That Mike Wazowski picture of him just having his face obscured. Yeah, other questions? Tintin.
Let's see here. The abstract concept of hope. You mentioned finding it in the grass and shit. Does that mean like the grass over the whole world, or just grass in a specific legendary area?
It's not legendary at all. I just think it's funny if you just like, you know, you're 3/4 of the game and you just come across this thing and it's just like a monster. Like, it's no more significant than a cow. Like, it's pretty good, but not great.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
Was the idea to give Human a gun inspired by Palworld?
No. The question was, does Human have a gun because of Palworld? No, that was maybe subconsciously. Like, I've been aware of Palworld since its first trailer, but Human himself is kind of separate, like convergent.
Is he American?
No, he's just a guy.
He could be American.
No, it's like, because, okay, so it's a human who you can capture as a monster, so then I have to, like, what is the one person who it's not weird for you to catch? So then some Muppet dude that looks like Donald Trump is, like, kind of the answer. Because if it's, like, any clear minority group, then that gets really weird and dark. So we'll just make this Muppet-looking doofus, and it should be fine.
Will you buy the Easter-themed Yule Must and take the label off that, put it on the bottle you have beside your bed so you can feel less shame about your flat?
No, I need to get rid of that bottle to get econ money. That's like 2 krona.
Fair point.
Any more questions? Alright. See ya.
Alright. Final one for the stream. Martin! Shit, he hasn't presented in 4 years.
Yeah.
I remember when he was this tall doing his last presentation.
Okay, this is... I don't know how I can, like, top that presentation. This is going to be much more boring. Because this is going to be about the process of... wait, can I present it? Okay. That works. Yeah, okay, this is going to be about a process of choosing a new name for a game, Writer's Choice. We have decided to go with a new name because of a couple of feedback that we got, which was well, first it doesn't really sound like a game, more like a word you get, and, which also doesn't help searchability. Yeah, so we made a little quiz for the house a couple weeks back. That was the first quiz that we did. The sample size, we had like 25 votes. Only for Spelkollektivet there was 13 names, and of course they were all gamers. The quiz consisted of 4 parts. Each part was meant to measure a certain aspect of a name. The first thing was interest, which the person was asked to just name a single game that interests them the most. Only 1 vote per person. Then analysis was about just getting to know what type of a person has that type of preference, more specifically what kind of game and genre they like. But most important was to distract them, because the next part was memory. And there I asked them to name a couple of the names from the first, for the first part, and see which of the names stuck with people the most. And yeah, the last part was just seeing what, that part was explaining what the game actually is, and seeing what people think that type of a game should have that name, right? Because in the first part, the person doesn't have any idea what the game is. It's basically the interest part is to just simulate, like imagine you're on a Steam page, and the only thing you have to go off of is the name, and see what to choose. Anyway, yeah, these were the names. Basically, we just picked the names that have to do something with the game. Either that was just stuff to do with words, or some more evocative, atmospheric names. Here's the results from the first thing. Okay, so Fear the Moon did the best in all categories. You can also see their searchability, which is to see how many results pop up when you Google that kind of name. Yeah, Fear the Moon did the best, really just by a landslide compared to Dream Dark and all the other ones. We can see that it really did really good on memory, like almost twice as good. And yeah, like Fear the Moon, Dream Dark, Peluna were the winners, but I was not very happy with that, so I made another poll. Because, okay, Fear the Moon, I didn't really like it. I just put it there to measure, like, to me, Fear the Moon was the most gamey name, the most name that actually sounds like a game, and see how it performed. So yeah, I made another quiz, and this one was public, so people in the house didn't actually see it. The sample size was much wider. It was 106 people. It was public with some exceptions of some people, and it was mix of gamers and non-gamers. And we had 14 names that got tested. Some of the changes was we added the biggest change was we added a new category, which was grading, and this was to promote more of a widely distributed point system where everybody can give an opinion on every name. Also, some other stuff. We also added to the first part with the names. We added a section for none of these names interest me, which is pretty important to remove some pretty big biases. Yeah, also there's just a bunch of names we removed to remove Fear the Moon, and some of the names I didn't like, and added a bunch of names that I came up with in the time. And here's the results from that. Okay, here we can see that the points is just like a general idea, just kind of sum that up together. Auburn C did really good, together with Syntaxia, and a bunch of other stuff. But here you can see it in a more visual sense. It's not very easy to get in, but we can see that Syntaxia did really good on memory, like really good. And interest was much more wildly distributed than the test before, which is something I'll get to. Here is the results from the last part, which was the grading part. And this is really interesting because you can see actually, you can see just what names are more diversive, as in some people really hate the name and some people really like the name. And some names, like Padescape, for example, you can see the yellow is just like a meh opinion, and people are just like, they didn't really care about it. So the biggest thing is like, why in the first quiz is one of the names so much more effective than in the more public? Like, it's basically, it's the same people, they don't know their result. So the results should be equal, right? So then why is in the other one it's just more distributed? And another thing that's really interesting is these two names, Syntaxia and Syntaxis, sound pretty similar, right? But one of them did better in everything. Like, why? That's not just a coincidence, right? So here's some possible explanations. There's a pretty interesting article that says the more syllables you have in a name, the more luxurious it sounds. Basically from 3 syllables and up. And, well, Syntaxia has 1 extra syllable, so maybe that. And another one is, another interesting article was about how names that sound more feminine are more effective at marketing, like, for example, Nestle and those kinds. And they proved that there is a definite bias, and Syntaxia sounds more feminine than Syntaxis. So, in conclusion, I just like to say that names do matter because they're definitely not all equal, as we could see with Syntaxia and Syntaxis. For memorability, it's really good to go with short, unique words, like Syntaxia, or long, evocative names. And initial interest is very subjective, but not really, as we could again see with Syntaxia and Syntaxis. So yeah, some things I'd like to improve about it would be, I would definitely like to, in the future, have more samples for things like this. I wonder if memory testing was that reliable, because it was just a bunch of questions in between. And I'd just like to have better categorization of people, like see the difference between non-gamers and gamers, the way the perception changes of the name. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yes?
Could you go back to page 9?
Page 9.
Yes. Does anybody relate to psychosemen?
What? Semen, oh shit. Psychosemen, yeah.
Favorite one.
Sorry,
yeah?
With memory recall, did you try to filter out, let's say that I voted for Fear of the Moon is the one that struck me the most.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should take Fear of the Moon out for that person. Because I saw a lot of correlation, but that
yes.
would just mean that...
That is a good point, and that's another thing I wanted to put in the last part, which is things I'd like to improve is Google Forms is very limited and doesn't really let you do that. There's some things that do, there's some apps that do, but they're paid. But I would love to do that if it was possible. Yes?
For searchability, I guess the higher number, the more hits you got on Google.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, it's just that, basically. Yes?
I'm curious, is this a strategy that you've used in the past, and would you recommend it for people to find their own name using this strategy?
It's a strategy. I did not try this in the past. I just kind of went off of a bunch of stuff, a bunch of papers that just focused on this, mostly psycho marketing research stuff, like those other papers you saw. And yeah, I haven't tried this tactic in the past. Yes, okay. Huh?
Have you decided on a name?
Oh yes, and I'm going to reveal that in the next presentation in the future. Okay, thank you.
Oh wait, we should just go. Oh no, because you don't have a Steam page yet. Otherwise, it would show up in your.
You would have.
That's the plan.
It's a good thing I didn't create the Steam page in our dashboard even, because otherwise people would have seen it already.
Yeah.
Now.
That's the plan for the next presentation.
Why the fuck are you stuck at 82%?
Alright, everybody, wasn't that fun? If you also like to make games and not be alone, come join us. Or if you prefer to be somewhere else, just send us all your money. Alright, goodbye!